Hey guys, long time no speak. Uh, Mostly because it's school and other like really crazy shit that I don't know if this is the right form to talk about it, you know. Also, as of right now, I am not wearing pants. So I'm gonna keep things from here up. Um, I'm not feeling so well. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about a really heavy topic today, and it's just on my mind, kind of. But I'll try to do it in a way that's kind of lighthearted and fun because that's my signature. Um, like I said, I do not feel well, so I'm gonna go get some tea. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna talk about this. Okay. Okay, back, and I have my tea. It's green tea. It's too hot. Anyway, I was thinking a lot because I saw this um, cartoon that I will link below. And it's basically kind of has a Pixar vibe to the cartoon, like it's definitely well made or professionally made, right? And was made by the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, the cartoon kind of featured this girl. She comes home and she draws a picture of her family, which includes mommy and daddy, herself, and then the little brother. And she tells the mommy, you know, someone else was drawing a picture and they have two mommies instead of, just one. And she was like, and I think that's cool because, it's all about love, right? So the little girl had the right idea, obviously. It had to be the grown up to mess everything up, which grown ups tend to do. So the mommy's like, yeah, this is not good because Jehovah says this, Jehovah says that. And it was definitely like, cute cartoon, terrible message, and I totally agree. And like it just kind of, I had like a Mr. Krabs blur mean moment where I was just like, whoa, because that's the religion that I grew up in. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and it was just kind of like, holy crap, like it wasn't so much that I would kind of, spit those sort of things out. But I guess, and I don't necessarily want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I want to just talk about the specific topic, which is talking about God, and if I believe in God and what that means within the context of being an intuitive thinker and what do intuitive thinkers think about God, which I think that on average they're atheist. And I think that our generation as millennial generation, I hear, goes from 1982 to 2001. That's like the overall. So if you're born in that time frame, you're a millennial. And millennials are the most, we have the largest group of atheists or just non-believers. I don't know about agnostics, but I would assume it's in there too than any other generation, which makes sense as we progress more as society and we start to be more inclusive instead of exclusive and just kind of get to learn different things and things change for people. It just makes sense that that would happen. Now, in terms of being an INTJ, I know for certain most intuitive thinkers and, they're definitely going to be like, not believing in God. For me, because I have this background of growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, right? I separate God and religion, right? Just on general principle. So I'm not a religious person because I feel like it just does not work. It doesn't take into account just human nature. It doesn't take into account evolution. It doesn't take into account any sort of modern updating of anything. Um, I don't lump it all together though. And the reason I don't lump it all together, and I can get into a lot more with that. I just want to talk about this one point. The reason I don't lump God and religion together, like I think that the expression of God through monotheistic religions like Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, um, it's been intense. And I don't think it kind of gets the whole picture. And there's just a lot of different, there's a lot of politics regarding like all of that stuff. That's like a 20-hour video. But I believe in God based on the logic of creation itself. So, I was born, I was created, right? So all humans were created, even if you didn't take part in the creation, obviously. Like, your mom didn't, like, mold together your heart and things like that, but you were created in the sense that before you were here, you did not exist, right? So it's the matter of something not existing, and then it comes into existence, and not by happenstance, but by a type of creation, which is pregnancy and giving birth. Then when it comes to everything else that's tangible and that's inanimate objects, planting as well. Now that I think about it, plants are living. So yeah, when it comes to most things, it's creation. It's something that we created, something that someone created. Like every object, everything on my body, everything that I'm wearing, the medium in which I'm, talking to you guys about, everything was created. So it only makes sense to me that everything that I physically couldn't see being created had some sort of creation by some sort of entity. So I don't look at it more so as like the Christian interpretation of God or the Jewish interpretation of God or even polytheistic interpretations of God, but just the idea of a single entity, right? A single entity that predates all of existence, a single entity that was there before the Big Bang, right? All the laws of physics break down at the moment of the Big Bang, right? I don't know all the technical stuff, but I do know that much. And so before then, it's like that question of, the never-ending story. Was what it's called? Just the nothing. What the hell is the nothing? Like, isn't that a freaky idea? So it's like, no, well, there was some stuff going on. There was just like gases and but that's still, it just, like, how far back are we going back? Like, are we going back several trillion years? What about before the gases? Like, it just makes sense in my mind that there was, like, it's actually just so mind warpish. Like, it really does warp your mind because you're like, okay, I get it. It's like the question of the chicken and the egg. But it's like, would it make sense that there was nothing and then something came from nothing, right? So this is just some conversation that I had myself when I was kind of testing my own beliefs. I was like, do I believe in these religious principles? Some of them I do, just in terms of like things that are questions of ethics. But in terms of, having a certain, political setup, having people, you're supposed to respect these people, or having like certain doctrine that's like you live and die by it. Just certain things just make sense, yeah. And from a poetic standpoint, Psalms is fire. It's a really good book. Just like in general, it's a good book. But yeah, so I just thought about it. I was just like, do I believe in God? And I definitely feel I do. Like, I intuitively feel like there was an entity that predates our existence that was involved either directly or indirectly with our coming to be, so to speak. So that's not discrediting evolution at all. It's a matter of saying it created a sort of chain reaction or a chain of events that allowed for evolution to take place, right? I still want to call it the entity. I think that calling it God is it's a good word for it, but I don't look at it probably the same way as a Christian person would look at it. I don't look at it the same way any religious person would look at it. Like, oh, and you have to do this and you can't do that, and if you do that, this happens. I don't add all that baggage to God because I feel like that wouldn't make sense. Another thing that wouldn't make sense is that a God is not involved with our day-to-day affairs. That wouldn't make sense. Like, why are evil people successful? And why do, great people die young and horribly? Like, why are there pedophiles and rapists and murderers, right? So I think that, in looking at all this, I think it becomes kind of obvious that the everyday, day-to-day events, there's no sort of direct interference, right? And that's basically all I have to say. Like, just on that one point alone, I'm like, okay, I was created. There was a point in which I did not exist, and now I exist, right? There's like a sort of timeline. And everything I see has been created. And then there's a lot of stuff that was here before me and that was here before humanity that was kind of just there, but it evolved over time. and everything kind of evolved over time. And I still hold on to this idea of an entity that was there to kind of start it all out. But what does it mean? I'm not even going there. Like, that's not even part of it. You know, and it's also not even like pushing this on other people. I just feel like that's like a very logical approach. Like, I'm starting to learn that, you know, definitely like not all like INTJs are the same. Not anyone from any type is the same. Because there's a lot of things I totally disagree with. Like, for me, that's clear logic. Clear logic is that there existed an entity before our universe. And that entity had some sort of role in our universe coming to be, whether it was direct or indirect. Which is vague, I get it. But the whole idea is vague within itself. But that one little nugget, that one small little nugget, you know, at the end of the day, we are all cosmic dust. I'm cosmic dust, you're cosmic sand. We're cosmic sand. So to say that definitively we know something does not exist, like, you're cosmic sand. Like, that's how important you are. Like, I was watching this video the other day, and it was this physicist, and he was saying, well, you know, we know there's nothing in, you know, black holes. And he was like, just isn't. And, like, we haven't even, like, explored black holes. You know, we're not even 100% sure they exist, I believe, right? Or is that wormholes? It's like, you don't know that. Like, sit your ass down. You are cosmic sand. I just can't have cosmic sand, which is all of you, do two things. I can't have you tell me definitively what God would want or doesn't want or says you need to do or says you don't need to do outside of just the realm of ethics and common sense. I can't have cosmic sand tell me that. And I can't have cosmic sand also tell me that absolutely no entity exists. That's, you know, maybe multidimensional and that predates all of existence. Like, I can't have another piece of cosmic sand tell me that. And that's just basically what everyone is. So that's my little spiel. I don't know if you believe, if you don't believe, and what are the ramifications of you believing? And are you spiritual? Do you identify as agnostic, or are you just like an atheist? You're like, yeah, I'm cosmic sand, but I know this doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments. This is just my little Saturday rant. Okay. And I have a series coming up where I'll be interviewing different people from different types. So that'll be up soon too. And it was great talking to you guys. Yes, long time no see, but you know, I'm broke and there's a lot of things going on and I'm a student. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.